Okay, so for this assignment, we're now on activity 3 of our immigration experience down the rabbit hole. We are going to work on how to analyze a primary source. But before we can know how to analyze a primary source, we need to know what is a primary source. So a primary source is any type of source that is first-hand information. It is original documents, a diary, a speech, a manuscript, letters, an interview, records of some kind, an eyewitness account, autobiographies because they're written by that person about their own life, poetry, music, videos, photography, all of these things that are taken directly from the person themselves. That is what is a primary source. Why do we use a primary source? Because they're reliable. Just think about it. If you were being told something, the latest news, so to speak, okay, you need to know where it's coming from. First-hand information. You go directly to the person that supposedly said this or did this. It would alleviate a whole lot of drama that we have going on nowadays if you go straight to the person and talk to them. So a primary source is directly from the original person that said it, experienced it, did it, whatever that might be. And what happens is that then supports our writing when we're writing informative or even argumentative, but it is a direct source. So being that it's that first-hand information, it makes it that much more reliable and more of an expert of support of evidence because you know that that is the truth because it comes directly from the person that experienced it. How do we analyze a primary source? Well, here's the key. You can't skim through it or read through it really fast. And I know that a lot of times we read through something really quick because reading is not something we love to do for some of us, and we just want to get our assignment finished. But when you are analyzing something, you have to really dig deep and to think about what it's saying, look for key things, kind of comb through it. And so you think about the where things are happening, the when things, when it happened, why is this going on? Well, what actually is happening instead of just, oh, I read it, okay, I'm done. Take the time to really comb through and dissect through what you are going to read because that is how you analyze something. You really look through it to understand it better instead of just a quick read. So here's a source for analyzing primary sources. This is from the Library of Congress. When you're analyzing a primary source of any kind, because there are different types of primary sources, okay, you need to do an observation part. What do you already know about this? Find something small and interesting that you notice before you even really get into the in-depth of what you're reading. And it's kind of like this KWL, what do you already know? What do you want to know? What did you learn when you got done with it? It's kind of what do you already know about this? What do you notice? And then you get into the reflection part of what are you learning from this? What are you gaining from this experience of reading or analyzing this specific source of text? And then you can ask the questions, well, who? Well, what happened? Well, when did this happen? And then as you go through, you're able to answer those questions. Because we are doing oral history this week, you are going to look over a person's history that is an immigrant that had to come and to change their lives and to take on a whole new experience and adventure just like Alice had to do when she went into Wonderland. And you are going to analyze an oral history. So here's an example of what that should be like. When you're analyzing an oral history, again, we do the observation piece, the reflection piece, and the questions. Okay, so you are to describe what you notice and what did you first notice, or is anything you're looking at unfamiliar? Do you notice any accents that the person may have? There's lots of different things to take into account. Does it seem like it's an interview or just a conversation? Is it someone just telling their story? Do you notice any background noise? What other details? So it's more than just what is the person saying. It's all of the things that are around it. Just like when you're listening to a podcast. you notice the music and you notice the sounds behind the voices because you're not watching anything, you're just listening. And so this is what you do with oral history. Then you have your reflection part. What was the purpose of the oral history? So why did this person even share this story? What do you think was happening when it was recorded? What can you tell about the person that's telling the story just from listening? What point of view are they using? Significance to it? Is it personal, historical? All of those different things as you're thinking about it. And then you look into your who was speaking, what were they talking about? When did they speak? Where were they? Why? And the how. So your assignment for this week is you are going to select one of the oral histories that is posted on the Google Doc that you are given, and you are going to listen to the history and you're going to analyze it. I have taken all of the questions and they are there for you. You're just going to fill them in as you go. After you listen to your oral history, you may have to listen to it more than one time to answer all of the questions. Please make sure that you answer in complete sentences, use good grammar, punctuation, capitalize words that need to be capitalized, and so forth. When you're done, you will submit your assignment into Schoology, and then when I'm finished grading everything, we'll return it and we'll keep everything in our Down the Rabbit Hole folder. All right, guys, good luck.